Yo, what's going on, guys? You're watching Team Absolute, and in this video, guys, I'm going to be showing you the Zoroark Crabominable deck that I used in the League Cup. And the vlog should already be up, or it's going to be up. I don't know which order I'm going to upload these in. But yeah, I did do a League Cup vlog, so make sure you guys go check that out. But I don't know why I'm doing a deck profile on this deck, because I didn't do pretty good. Or I didn't do very good, I guess I should say. Pretty much what that kind of broke down to was I started like really bad starts at I just had to pretty much try to make a comeback in a couple games, and then I just whiffed. And then my last game I was like up against like pretty much the anti this deck, and he opened Parallel City and like limited me to 3. I couldn't draw a field goal or save my life. I couldn't get anything really going. So he Parallel City me turn 1, and I couldn't really go into the giant Brigette play that like my hand was set up for and go from there. And then it was like Acerolas. It was like, it was just bad. But anyway, so yeah, that's how that went. But hope you're all doing well. And I just decided to go ahead and just kind of show this list, and figured why not. So starting off here, guys, we have a 4-4-1 line, I guess you could say, of Zoroark GX, and I'm doing this at like a newer angle, so I'm hoping the video quality comes out okay. But we're running 4 GXs and 1 stand-in Zoroark. You guys don't know what the GX does. Trade, you discard a card from your hand and draw 2, and then Righteous Beating 20 for the amount of Pokemon that you have in play. So if you have 6 Pokemon, that's 120. And then I can't do the GX attack, so I'm not going to really focus on that. And then we have stand-in Zoroark. Pretty much if it's on your bench, you can promote it to your active. And then it has Mind Jack 10 and then 30 for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Zoroark's been rising in popularity, and I actually like playing Zoroark. I don't really think it necessarily matters what Zorua you play, just play Zorua. But yeah, so that's just the line that I went of Zoroark, because I figured that just seemed the best route to go. And I wanted like some more Pokemon in here, just that way I can kind of like capitalize on trade and Righteous Beating and everything. And so because of the popularity of Zoroark, I was like, I need something that could be a solid Pokemon and could counter Zoroark and would actually be pretty good. And to be honest, I really like Crabominable. I just hit my camera, I apologize. And if you guys have been following my channel for a little bit, you know that, well, I've been kind of in a Pokemon funk, so I've been playing a lot of fun decks. And one of those decks did include Buzzwole Crabominable. And that deck was a blast. Like, that was just a deck that I know was actually around from what I was hearing. I was talking to some people at the League Cup, and they were telling me that there were some people playing that deck. But this was just a deck that I came up with without really researching anything, and I just kind of built it and went from there. I never did a video on it just because the deck wasn't bad, but it was like a fun deck for most purposes. It did do pretty decent at my league, and that's really about it. And yeah, but anyway, Crabominable has an attack, and really you're only going to be committing 1 energy to this, and that's Gutsy Hammer. It has 2 attacks, but Gutsy Hammer is going to be the attack you're going to be using. And what that does, it does 80, and then for every single damage counter on Crabominable, you're going to do that damage to yourself. So let's say they hit you for 70, and then you do Gutsy Hammer, you would initially do 70 to yourself. And yes, you can knock yourself out at occasional times, but when you guys think about it, you have the access to cards like Strong Energy, you have access to cards like Choice Band and such. So that 1 energy, that 80 can turn into 130 or so, which is actually pretty good. And if you throw a Choice Band onto Crabominable and you attack a Zoroark, that's going to be 110, which will double into 220, which will actually knock out a Zoroark. And that's actually pretty cool. Or you can do a Strong Energy, and then that'll go into 200. And to be honest with you guys, I actually just went ahead and threw in a Buzzwole, because Buzzwole actually is a pretty solid card. Buzzwole is just kind of in here to be that that nuisance that can kind of soften up Pokemon. I can use its attack to just hit stuff and maybe kind of set up knockouts. Because of course, yes, Zoroark can dish out a decent amount of damage, but this is for the most part a 2-shot deck, and this could really help out with getting those numbers. And so it's just another fighting Pokemon that could really benefit from Choice Band and Strong Energy. And I figured, why not? We're going to commit 1 energy to these. And this is actually, oddly enough, the only Pokemon in this deck that I can do the GX attack with. So yeah, there wasn't really necessarily a Pokemon in here I could use this GX attack. Someone was like jokingly saying you should have put something in there, like maybe hella Tauros would have been kind of cool. And I was like, yeah, that might have been sweet. But who knows? We're just trying to have a little fun at that League Cup. I knew I wasn't going to like go in there and just start wrecking fools and make top 8. Mostly because I don't play competitive too often. And I'm hoping to change that. But yeah. So Crabominable is in here pretty much just to be that Pokemon that can do a lot of damage. And then I just ran this Crabrawler here because I like it. Just the funny potential of the punch attack. It was just hilarious to me. So I just decided to go with that one. There is another one that was actually in my deck before I made the swap, and it was this one right here. And then I just initially swapped to these once I saw that one, and I was like, oh, let's go with this. Why not? They both have 80 HP and both have a retreat cost of 2. So yeah, initially I don't think it matters what Crabrawler, unless there's like an amazing one that comes out. But if you're forced and you're attacking with your basic Pokemon, you're probably in a bind anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, a 3/3 Crabominable, a 4/4/1 line of Zoroark, which is 4 GX, 1 stand-in, and then we got a Buzzwole. And then to round out the Pokemon guys, we of course have 3 Tapu Lele GX and a card that I've regretted playing, which is Sudowoodo. So I'm going to talk about Sudowoodo here a little bit first, because you guys know why Tapu Lele is in here. I don't really think I need to go too much into detail about that one. Just you play it down, you get a supporter. Turn 1 Brigette, search Guzma, search all that kinds of stuff, and it's got energy drive. I don't really need to go too much into it. But yeah, Sudowoodo was just a card I was sitting there thinking, that would be cool. Just the roadblock will limit their bench and all this. And I started playing it, and I know I used it every single game. I either started with it or opened with it and just played it down just because. And I initially was just like, okay, I love Sudowoodo. I love the Pokemon. I think it's cool, and the card's actually not bad. But if I had a choice to go back, I would probably swap it out for something else. I don't know what I could swap it out for, but yeah. And by the way, I just want to note real quick, Ultra Prism was not legal. This was like the last tournament I think I would be able to go to where Ultra Prism wasn't legal, so that's why a lot of those cards aren't in here. But yeah, so Sudowoodo is just a card that I decided to go with, and I don't think it was the right call. Yes, it did kind of mess up some matchups. My opponents were, wanting to play certain things down and they couldn't. But still, nonetheless, I think committing that spot to something else probably would have worked out a little more in my favor. But who knows. So for the supporters, I went extremely generic. There's nothing too crazy here. 4 Sycamore, 4 N, 3 Guzma, 3 Acerola, 2 Brigette. That's just kind of what I just decided on. That's like the straightforward supporter line that like before Ultra Prism. There was some other stuff, of course, you can run in there. But for me, personally, this was just kind of like my standard supporter line. It wasn't to say that like I bricked as far as like just not drawing in the stuff. I was drawing in the stuff, but I just wasn't hitting key cards when I needed to. So yeah, that's where that issue kind of came from. And I did not run the puzzle times. If you're wondering, I didn't. I just decided against it. I thought I could commit spots to something else. But 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Choice Band, 2 Special Charge, 2 Fill Blower, and then 2 Rescue Stretcher. Originally, I was doing 1 Rescue Stretcher. The Sudowoodo was not in here, and I ran 2 Enhanced Hammer. I took out the hammers and put in another Rescue Stretcher and a Sudowoodo. I like the second Rescue Stretcher. I think this was actually a pretty good call. That was very helpful in games. It kept me in games, but the Sudowoodo, I don't know. I just would rather have something else in my deck. Okay, so, yeah. The Choice Band obviously in there helped. Excuse me, good lord. Woo! The Choice Band's in there so that way you can do some more damage. Ultra Ball, search Pokemon. Special Charge is in here because I do run DCE and Strong Energies. So that's why that's in there, just to shuffle those back in. And DCE just was, clutch. So I really wanted to make sure I had as many of those in my deck at all times. Fill Blower. Until my last game, this card was very helpful. Just getting rid of stuff. And then that last game rolled around and it just decided not to even show up. Yeah, my last game was very frustrating. I was just like, all right, I'm done. I scooped before like the game even like was actually straight up decided, but my opponent brought up Necrozma. I don't know why I can't speak all of a sudden. Brought up Necrozma, did the GX attack. I just flipped my prizes over. I was like, all right, man, you win. And I just kind of got up and walked around. So yeah, I got emotional. All right, that's what happened. Damn it. But anyway. So there is the trainer line, and then we're going to round the deck off with these energy here, almost at supporters, and there it is. So yeah, there's probably a lot of errors, a lot of stuff that I probably could have swapped out. There's, you know, things I probably could have played differently in here. But the issue with this was I was actually supposed to test this a little more, but I got the damn flu. Alright, I got the flu, and because I care about other people and I didn't want people to get sick because of me, I just flat out did not mess with this deck for a whole week. I put all my cards, all the stuff that I touch a lot, like, away from me. I like washed my hands really, really good. And then I just like gathered everything up and put it to where I would not be anywhere near it. So that way I wouldn't get anyone sick. None of my flu would be on the cards. Nothing. And yeah. So that's why I didn't really get the chance to like test this a little more and see what I like, see what I didn't like. But as far as like how the deck, like the idea of it, I like the idea of it. It's just how it performed. Like the first few games were like really good. I played Tapu Lele decks in my first 2 rounds, and the first 2 games were like incredible. And then like the 3rd game was okay, 4th game was okay, and then the last game was just a absolute shit stomping. Actually, no, I'll take that back. My last 2 games were shit stompings because I played against a Lycanroc Zoroark and I had a really bad start. So yeah, the deck, I like it. Just, you know, a couple attackers that could hit for a lot of damage with like little to no energy commitment is just really cool. Crabominable is that card that no one just expects to be good. It was never like initially like a bad card, but it was like just, it was eh. And like now it has a chance to shine because Zoroark, of course, is so popular. And you know, with Ultra Prism rolling in, we don't know exactly what's going to happen to the format. We don't know what's going to rise, what's going to fall, and all that. So we'll just have to see. But this was my last chance to play something kind of cool, something kind of creative before Ultra Prism came out and before the format kind of changed up, because Ultra Prism, of course, is going to be that set that I believe is going to change this, just everything. So yeah, this was the deck I went in there with. I ended up 2-3. It was really funny. I beat my friends Jarvis and DeMarcus. That was my only 2 wins. That was really funny. But this is the deck that I ran. And yeah, it's not the best. I'm pretty sure you guys can take this deck and do wonders with it because you guys are better than me. I know it. I feel it. I believe in you. So go out and do big things, guys. And I do hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know why that sounded British. I don't know why. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. I love you. And it's Team Absolute. Catch you in the next video.